शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपार करुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरेन्द्र गुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। सद्गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्।
Welcome to yet another session of Auspicious Days in Sanathana Dharma. So this month, which is going to be born, is Purattaasi maasam or Kanya maasam. Kanya maasam because the sun is present in the Kanya Rasi. அதனாலதான் இந்த மாசத்துக்கு பேரு கன்யா மாசம் அப்படின்னு பேரு. And in this month, the two very important festivals are the Mahalaya Paksham and the Navaratri, Sharada Navaratri and Mahalaya Paksham. So those are the two important festivals, and both of these festivals are not just confined to a single day or a particular time. Normally, many of our festivals, many of our auspicious days, Punya Kalams, are confined to a particular day or some particular hours in a day. Grahanam, eclipse, it lasts for a certain time in a day. On the other hand, Vinayagar Chaturthi, the whole day. But Mahalaya Paksham and Navaratri, they are kind of extended Punya Kalams. Mahalaya Paksham, as the name suggests, it lasts for about 15-16 days. And Navaratri, Nayan, it lasts for 9 days. So 15 days and 9 days. Let us see about Mahalaya Paksham a little bit more. Because last session, I mentioned about Mahalaya Paksham, but we didn't see a lot about the importance of Pitru Pujanam, etc. Because Mahalaya Paksham was happening right now, I think it will be very apt to talk about Mahalaya Paksham in a little bit more detail. So Mahalaya Paksham, as the name suggests, it lasts for one paksham. One paksham is one phase of the moon. So 15 days, Mahalaya Paksham lasts. It is called as Panchama Apara Paksham. Technically, it is called as Panchama Apara Paksham. And the whole paksham, if we go in North India, in the West Bengal, etc., they call this entire paksham as Pitru Paksham. Because this entire 15 days, 16 days, 15 plus 1, 16 days is very, very auspicious for doing Pitru Pujanam. There are people who do Pitru Tarpanam on all the 15 days. So including Prathama, you have to do the Tarpanam. So 16 days, 17 days kuda pandravalna irka. That is how it should be done. If we cannot do, at least we have to do Mahalaya Tarpanam, Mahalaya Shraddham on any day that we want. While choosing the day, Mahabharani, Nadhyashtami, if we do Shraddham, Mahalaya Shraddham on these days, it gives very auspicious, more adhikasya adhikam palam, naraya palam kadikirthu. So tomorrow, the Saturday, is going to be the 17th September 2022, is Madhyashtami, for at least for the people in the EST time zone. So Madhyashtamiila Tarpanam பண்றது அப்படிங்கிறது ரொம்ப விசேஷம். மத்தியாஷ்டமியில ஸ்ராத்தம் பண்றது அப்படிங்கிறது, it is a very auspicious thing. Like that, there are several days for Mahalaya Paksham. Avidhava Navami. So the Navami, the ninth day, Avidhava Navami. People say those who have gone as Sumangalis, you have to do Mahalaya Shraddham for those people on Avidhava Navami. And then there is another day called Shastrahata Mahalayam. On the Shastrahata Mahalayam, people who have gone because of a war, because of unnatural circumstances, suicide, etc. Avalukku we do Tarpanam. We are supposed to do Tarpanam on the Shastrahata Mahalaya. Shastrahata Mahalaya. Sanyastha Mahalayam. Dwadasi. Sanyastha Mahalayam is for those people who have taken up to sannyasa in a family. They do Sanyastha Mahalayam. Like that, there are many auspicious days in Mahalaya Paksham itself. I don't want to get into so much detail in this session. There are Upanyasams in Vedadharma Shastra Paripalana Sabha where they outline everything. What is the right from Prathamai, to Mahalaya Amavasai, each and every day they talk about what is the speciality of this day. And each and every day, if you do Shraddham, there is a Palan. So what is the Palan if you do Shraddham on that day? People have spoken about it a lot. So I don't want to repeat it. But what we will do today now is to see in general about a Shraddham, importance of Pitru Pujanam, and why everybody should do it. And historically, in our culture, how the Pitru Pujanam has been given importance. So we will see those things in general. Some parts from Daivathin Kural we will see. Very general, a bird's eye view of Pitru Pujanam, because it is very, very auspicious to even remember our Pitrus in the Mahalaya Paksham. They say, just like how we do spring cleaning or summer cleaning in our houses, in the same way in the Yamaloka, they do cleaning once a year, annual cleaning. And the story goes like that during Mahalaya Paksham, the entire Yamaloka is being cleaned. So all the Pitrus, they come to Bhuloka. And they come to their families' houses, expecting Pitru Tarpanam, Shraddham, etc. So the Pitrus are here right now with us. So it is very auspicious to remember our ancestors and talk about the importance of Pitrus. According to Shastra, 3 functions are very important for a putra. If a person has to be considered as a putran, then he should have done these 3 things, says Shastra. Jivato Vakya Karanat, Pratyabdham Bhuri Bhojanat, Gayayam Pindadanach, Tribhuv Putrasya Putrata, says Purana. Devi Bhagavata Purana. The shloka is present in many texts. So Devi Bhagavatam, etc. So Jivato Vakya Karanat, number 1. Pratyabdham Bhuri Bhojanat, number 2. Gayayam Pindadanaha, that is number 3. What are these 3 things? Jivataha Vakya Karanat. When the Pitrus are alive, when the parents, when the ancestors are alive, first thing we should do is to listen to the parents. Pitruvakya Paripalanam is very, 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 very important. Is to take care of our parents. That is very, very important. That is why Bhagavan Mahavishnu has spent an entire avatara in demonstrating the Pitruvakya Paripalanam. Dasharatha, he has gone. Dasharatha was not there. Dasharatha died. But even after 14 years, Rama was following Dasharatha's wishes. Jivato Vakya Karana. So that is very, very important. No, even in Ramayana, we all know how Dasharatha has got that shapam, and even in that time, the boy was doing Pitru Vakya Pariparana, Pitru Seva, Matru Pitru Seva. So Matru Pitru Seva is important, and doing according to the wishes of the parents are very, very important. Number one, Pratyabdham Bhuri Bhojana. At least once in a year, you have to do Shraddham. And when the Pitrus they pass away, when the ancestors they pass away, the tithi in which they passed away, you have to remember that tithi, and you have to do Shraddham on that tithi every year. And the Shraddham Shastra says you cannot do Hiranya Shraddham, etc. Shastra does not accept Hiranya Shraddham as a way, as a substitution for our regular Shraddham that we do every year. Every year we have to do Shraddham, right? Once a year. And these days people think, okay, I cannot do Shraddham very elaborately, so I will just do Hiranya Shraddham. Shastra does not accept that. There are many people, they say, okay, this is the compromise that we have to make, but Shastra does not support. Our Vidwans, they don't support. Dharma Shastra Vidwans, they don't support that theory. You have to do Shraddham, with the Homam, with feeding the Brahmanas, that has to be done. So that is what here it says, Pratyabdham Bhuri Bhojana. Okay, that is the second one. Gayayam Pindadanacha. After doing Shraddham, so you have to continue doing Shraddham, and then at least once in a lifetime, they have to do, the Shraddha Karta, he has to go to Gaya, and he has to do Pinda Pradhanam in Gaya. Gaya Shraddham, Dimba. You have to do Pinda Pradhanam in Gaya. And even here people think that, okay, if I go do Gaya Shraddham, if I go do Shraddham in Gaya, then I don't have to do Shraddham every year. That is also a very big misconception, because here in the same shloka it says you have to do Shraddham every year. Pratyabdham. You have to do Shraddham every year, and then Gayayam Pindadana. So you have to do Shraddham every year, and at least once in a lifetime, you have to do Gaya Shraddham. Tribhif putrasya putrata. So when you do that thing, you are eligible to be called as a putra, says the shloka. So putra means following the parents' words when they are alive, taking care of them, and when after they have gone, doing regular Shraddham every year, and at least one time in Gaya. So this is what the shloka says. Now everybody has got this question. I do Shraddham, okay. I do Tarpanam, okay. What do I do when we do Tarpanam? Just some water and sesame seeds. Shraddham, what do? We do some homam in the fire. We feed some, Brahmanas we feed. Okay, how do the benefits they get passed on to our Pitrus? Our Pitrus are in a different loka. These are astikas. These are legitimate questions asked by astikas. They believe in Shraddham, and they ask, okay, I just don't see the connection. For that, Periyava gives a very beautiful analogy. We all are in different country, and we all want to send money to a different country. Either if we are in the US, we send money to India. If we are in India, we send money to US. How do we send that money? In India, they follow a different currency, rupees. In US, they follow a different currency called as dollars. If I get dollars to India, I cannot buy anything with the dollars because that currency is not recognized in India. If I take Indian rupees to US, I cannot buy anything from Walmart because Indian rupee is not recognized in Walmart. So what do? I go to a currency exchange center, Western Union, etc. I go to a currency exchange center. What do here? I go to a local Western Union branch. I give them $1,000, and at the same time, the money gets transferred to my parents. My parents, they get 80,000 rupees. How does that happen? The $1,000 that I gave to the Western Union, it is still in that cashier's box. But then how did my parents then get 80,000 rupees? It is because something that happens in the middle, which we don't understand, which we need not understand as well. As long as it works, it works. In the same way, Mahaperiyavas says, when we do Shraddham or Tarpanam, whatever that we give here, here it may be just water, sesame seeds, and just food. We won't use understand. We don't understand. But there, upon the currency exchange, whatever that we give here, they get traded. They get, just like how money get converted. The water that we give, the food that we give, gets converted into some form of currency that is very, very valuable in Pitruloka. That is how we should understand this Shraddham and Tarpanam, says Mahaperiyava. That is point number one. Point number two, people also think that, okay, why do I need to spend money on these rituals? Why can't I just feed some poor? This is also a very valid, legitimate question. Yes, feeding poor is very, 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 very important. Feeding poor is very, 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 very important. But we have to understand that that is not a substitute for doing Shraddham. They might look very similar. In Shraddham also, you are inviting some person, you are feeding him. Feeding poor also, you are inviting people, or you go to their place and then you are giving food. So the activity might look very, very similar, but they won't result in the same thing. Yes, feeding poor, everybody should do. Annam bahukurvita tadvratam mukhato onnagum radham mukato sma annagum radhyate etadvai madhyato onnagum radham madhyato sma annagum radhyate etadva antato onnagum radham antato sma annagum radhyate, says Upanishad. You have to give lot of food to others. There is absolutely no question about it. But what Shastra says is that that is not a substitute for doing Shraddha. This is what people get confused. Sugar and salt, they look alike. Sugar and salt, they look alike. But we don't add salt in our coffee. And we don't add sugar in our sambar or rasam or our pickle, right? Even though they look alike, the end goal is different. In the same way, feeding poor, doing Shraddham, they may look alike, but the end goal is different. Feeding poor is our regular duty. Doing Shraddham is a special addition that we have to do. So, this is another misconception that people have. I just want to, remove that misconception. Yes, you feed others, but also do Shraddham. We are not saying you have to do Shraddham instead of feeding others. We say do Shraddham in addition to feeding others, or feed others in addition to doing Shraddham. That is what we say. So these are the importance of doing Pitru Shraddham, etc. Now we will see what is the culture, what is the Bharatiya culture about Shraddham, etc. In Tirukkural, Thiruvalluvar says, a duty of a householder is to look after these 5 people, says Thiruvalluvar in Tirukkural. In that order, what he gives. Tenpulattar, Deivam, Virundu, Vokkal, Tan, Yendraangu, Aimbulathar Ombal Thalai, says Thiruvalluvar in Tirukkural. Tenpulattar is one group of people. Deivam is another group of people. Virundu is another group of people. Vokkal is another group of people. Tan is another group of people. Who are they? Tenpulattar means those people which are in the southern direction. Pitrus. Because when we do Pitru Tarpanam, everything we face south, right? So whenever we do Pitru Karyam, south is the direction for Pitru Karyam. So in Tamil, they are called as Tenpulattar. So Pitrus you have to take care. Grihastha, Illarattan, Illaram, அப்படிங்கிற அதிகாரத்துல சொல்ற. So Grihastha, first and foremost, he has to take care of Pitrus. Remember, Jivato Vakya Karanat, Pratyabdham Bhuri Bhojanat, Gaya Shraddha. So, Tenpulattar. Second comes Deivam, Bhagavan, God. So, the first importance is for Pitrus. And then only Bhagavan comes. This one, we can even see when we are doing Shraddham, people who has Panchayatana Puja, etc., they don't do Puja first. They first give importance to Shraddham. Only after the Shraddham is over, they do either Panchayatana Puja or Salagrama Puja, etc. This time it so happened in our family itself that we had to do Shraddham on a Pillayar Chaturthi day. So the Vadyar said, no, you have to first do the Shraddham. Only after the Shraddham is done, you can do Pillayar Chaturthi, Pillayar Puja. So that is what we followed. So, Tenpulattar, Pitru Karyam takes precedence over even Bhagavat Karyam, even Puja, etc. So, Tenpulattar is first, second is Deiva. Third is Virundu. Virundu means Atithi. So, after doing Puja for Bhagavan, you have to do Atithi Satkaram. So, this is where feeding poor comes into picture. So, first is Pitrus. Second is Bhagavan. Third is feeding your fellow human beings. Virundu. Vokkal. Vokkal means our family. So after you feed others, you just come to your own family. Extended family. Vokkal. And then comes your immediate family, that is your wife, your wife, or your husband and your kids. So that is the order of precedence. The most important thing is Tenpulattar, Pitrus. After that comes Bhagavan. After that comes Atithi, the fellow human beings. After that comes your relations. After that comes your immediate family. Tan, Yendraangu, Aimbulattaru Ombal Thalai. This is a beautiful Tirukkural where many things are conveyed in this Tirukkural. Who should you take care, in what order, what is the order of hierarchy you should do all the pujas. Thiruvalluvar beautifully explains. There is one very interesting song in Purananuru. Purananuru normally talks about war. In Tamil, Purananuru is a Sangam literature. It talks about wars, basically. This what did this king do? What did that king do? How did this king won over the other king? That is what, their victory, their valor, all these things will be talked about in Purananuru. In Purananuru, one king is being praised. Palyagasalai Mudukudumi Peruvazhuthi. He is a Pandyan king. He is a Pandya king who ruled over Madurai. Pandyan kingdom is Madurai, right? And his name itself conveys a lot of message. Palyagasale Mudukudumi Peruvadi. Means he has done a lot of yajna. Rajasuya yajnam. Ashwamedha yajnam. These are the yajnams only kings can perform. And apparently this king has performed all these yajnam. That is why he is called as Palyagasale. Yagasale, Yajnashala. So when praising this king, there is a Pulavar. This poem is written by a poet called as Nettimayar. Nettimayar is the name of the poet. We don't know the original name, but his nickname, his pen name is Nettimayar. And he is praising this Palyagasale Mudukudumi Peruvaldi. And he says, the king, when he goes to a war, normally what do? We see Ukraine war and all. People just die. People don't have any ethics. Where should you put all the weapons? What do we think now? Okay, you have to put the weapons, you have to drop the bombs where there are a lot of people living. That's how we do normally here. That's how at this time we do. But in India, in Bharata Desha, there is an ethics even while doing a war that kings followed. So this king apparently, when he goes to the war, he wants these people to get away. He has selected a set of people. He says, okay, these people don't come to me. You have to take refuge somewhere. I don't want to hurt you. Who are these people? He says, Avum, Aniyar Parpana Makkalum, Pendirum, Piniyudairum, Peni Tenpulavalnar Karungadanirukkum, Ponpor Pudalvar Peradirum, Yam Ambu Kadividu Nummaran Sermin. That is what he says. Avum Aniyar Parpana Makkalum, Pendirum, Piniyudairum, Peni Tenpulavalnar Karungadanirukkum, Ponpor Pudalvar Peradirum. Okay, these people, Yam Ambu Kadividu Num Aran Sermin. I am going to release my bow. I am going to release my arrow. Take refuge. I don't want to hurt you. He says, who are these people? Avum. Means cow. He says, I don't want to hurt any cow. Aniyar Parpana Makkalam. All the Brahmanas in that region. He says, Aniyar Parpana Makkalam. Because Brahmanas are like cows. Just like cows, they have, cows are not selfish. Whatever milk they give, it's all for others to drink, right? So whatever the pujas, even Sandhya Vandanam, the Brahmanas do, it is only for other people. They don't pray anything for themselves. The meaning of Gayatri Mantra is not for praying anything for themselves. It says everybody's intellect should grow up. So that is why here the poet says, Aniyar Parpana Maklam. So cows, Brahmanas, Pendirum, women. I don't want to hurt any women. Piniyudairum. The fourth group of people is, I don't want to hurt any people who have any diseases. I don't want to hurt any weak people. Fourth. The fifth one he says, Peni Tenpulavalnar Karungadanirukkum Ponpor Pudalvar Peradirum. Pudalvar Peradirum. People who do not have any sons. Pudalvar means sons. People who don't have any sons. Why he says Tenpulavalnar Karungadan Irukkum? Because his sons, Shastra says, the Pitru Runam, the debt that we have towards our ancestors, we repay the debt by begetting sons, by begetting progeny, says Shastra. Because Only the progeny, when they do Shraddham, he is not only doing Shraddham for his father, but he is doing Shraddham for at least 3 or 4 generations before. பிதா பிதாமகா பிரபிதாமகா அப்படின்னா ஸ்ராத்தம் பண்றவாளுக்கு தெரியும், தர்ப்பணம் பண்றவாளுக்கு. So he is not only doing shraddam for his father, but he is doing shraddam for his grandfather, great grandfather. So all the way for all the ancestors line, this person is doing shraddam. So that is why here the king says, okay, those people who don't have a son, please go away. I don't want to kill you, because if I kill you, then you are not going to have any food. That is there, but your parents are also going to suffer in Pitruloka. Your your grandparents are also going to suffer in Pitruloka. All of your ancestors are going to suffer in Pitruloka. So that is why I don't want to kill you. So here, look at this. A king is saying, king wants to kill as many people as he wants in a war. But a king is saying, if you don't have a son, he even tells the reason. Penpula Valnar Karung Kadan Irukum. Penpulam. Previously, Thiruvalluvar said Penpulatar. He said, here he says Penpulam Valnar Karung Kadan Irukum. People who has the debt of Pitrurunam and people who don't have the son to pay back the debt, please don't come to this war. I am not going to kill you, says the king. So that much importance the Shastra gives for the Shraddham, the culture gives for the process of Pitru Pujanam. In fact, Periyavas says in Deivathin Kural, Shraddhaya Pandradhan Shraddham Abdimba. Normally people thinks it as Shrardham Abdina. There is no Repha there. It is Shraddham. It has to be done with utmost Shraddha. Kadanenu pannapadadu, ayyo pannanumenu pannapadadu. It has to be done with a lot more Shraddha. That is why the entire process is called as Shraddham. So with this, we will finish today's session, this session of auspicious days in Sanathana Dharma. Yes, there is Navaratri that is coming on. This Navaratri is called as Sharada Navaratri. And I don't want to talk about Sharada Navaratri now, because if we start to speak about that, it's going to take a lot of time. And we all know 9 days, 3 days for Durga, 3 days for Lakshmi, 3 days for Saraswati. Periyavas says, Moola Nakshatram is very, very auspicious for Saraswati. Normally, people, normally we do Saraswati Puja only on the 9th day. But, it is people who know Shastra, they do Saraswati Puja on the last 3 days. Moola Nakshatram will come on the 7th day, 6th day or 7th day, approximately it comes. So they will do a Ghatastapanam on the Moola Nakshatram, and then they do Saraswati Puja, etc. And the final day is Vijayadasami. So that is Navaratri. And whatever we start during the Vijayadasami day, it is supposed to be very victorious, they say. So Vijayadasami is there. And this entire month is Purattaasi maasam. So Purattaasi Sanikkiramai, people do Vratham for Venkataramana Swami. Because even in the Tirumala, they do Brahmotsavam on Purattaasi month. In the Navaratri Samayatha, they do Brahmotsavam. So people do on Purattaasi Saturdays, people do, Maavalak Pudradhu. There is even a custom where people do Maavalak, people make a lamp out of rice flour and jaggery and ghee. And then people do Avahanam of Venkataramana Swami onto that lamp, and then they will do Vishnu Sahasranama Archane. Adellam pannuva. So that thing, it all happens in Purattaasi Saturday. So I don't want to go into detail of all those now. Maybe in later time, we will see all those auspicious days, explanation for all those auspicious days later. But this time I just wanted to focus on doing Pitru Pujanam. So with this, we will finish this session of Auspicious Space and Sanatana Dharma. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thanks a lot.